Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Welcome to BASF. Welcome to K2019. Welcome to our Media Night. My name is Richard Amberger, and I'm going to guide you through the program tonight. K2019 for us at BASF means empowering the future together. And tonight, we're going to show you two great examples of how we created and empowered solutions together with our partners and customers that enable a higher quality of life, that embrace the concept of circularity, and finally create chemistry for a sustainable future. But before we start looking at these examples of how we empower the future together, I would like to hand over to Wayne Smith, member of the Board of Directors of BASF SE. Wayne.
Well, thank you, Richard, and welcome everyone. I want to offer, on behalf of BASF, a warm welcome to all of the journalists, our customers, our partners, and guests this evening to our big booth here. Now, I have to say I've had the pleasure of attending several K fairs over the years, so I know what's coming, I know what to expect, but when I get here, I'm still impressed by the magnitude of what BASF puts together. Now, you may ask yourself, why do we need such a big booth? And it's simple. Because we are invested in this industry. We are fully committed to this industry. It's innovation-driven, it's exciting, and we want to show these innovations. We want to have space for our customers to demonstrate these, and frankly, it's exciting. Because we, at the end of the day, we believe in the power of chemistry to really drive innovative new materials, to help our customers, to offer benefits to society, and in some certain cases, to offer solutions to sustainability problems around the world. You know, we have concepts around lightweighting for vehicles for fuel enhancement. We have water conservation efforts with smart surface designs. We have biodegradable mulch films to improve agricultural yields. All these concepts, insulating materials for every application you can imagine. It's completely innovation driven. So this is our commitment. I would like to take the next few minutes to talk about three themes that have emerged from our recent corporate strategy that I think are particularly relevant here. The first is innovation, which I've touched upon. Second is customers or customer intimacy. And then the third is sustainability, which is a big critical topic for BASF. The first is innovation, which I started to touch upon. This is the lifeblood of our company. And particularly in this material space, it is application driven, it is new concept driven. We tend to focus on high-performance polymers that bring strength or temperature resistance or chemical resistance, sort of high-functioning capabilities. And we'd like to have a whole suite of capabilities and design expertise so that when a customer has a concern or a problem, we can find that solution. Which leads to, and let me say this, the innovation intensity is quite high. We have a KPI we track in our company called the Vitality Index. And this is the percentage of our sales in a particular division that come from products that did not exist 5 years ago. And for this performance materials realm of BASF, it's about 20%. So about 20% of the sales of these kinds of materials did not exist 5 years ago. So you can see the innovation relevance here. And then that leads to our next topic, which is customer intimacy. So clearly our customers have always been critical to us, but we see the opportunity to raise the intimacy level with our customers to a whole new level. And this is particularly important with the topic of innovation. So we can have incredibly creative people, but it's not enough. We need to collaborate with our customers in interesting ways. I remember being in one of our polyurethane major centers in Lemford, Germany a number of years ago. They were showing us these fantastic new applications, what you can do with polyurethanes, and it's always exciting. And I stopped them in the middle and I said, who is coming up with these ideas? I mean, where does this come from? And I said, it's simple. It comes from our customers. We bring the chemistry capability, the material capability, design capabilities, and we merge that with our customers, and this is where exciting things come. And you'll see two examples of that tonight. One is a collaboration with HYMER on this vehicle here, Concept Van. Now we've had, I will say, the nice opportunity over the years to do a couple of concept vehicles, one with Daimler, one with Hyundai, but now we do something big, physically big. We have more than 20 materials represented in this van. It's incredibly impressive, and I was telling Mr. Bauer, who will join. He's the president of HYMER in Germany. And I said, it's impossible to be a guest and walk by this and not want to go inside that vehicle. So you'll hear more about it tonight. I think it's very, very exciting. The second topic we have tonight is with adidas, which we have a strong historical partnership with. They're fantastic materials around their Boost offerings with running shoes. We've been a strong contributor to that with our Infinity products. And now they have come up with a fantastic new running shoe design, which is a high-performance shoe, because this is all they do. It's about high performance, but it's a single polymeric material, a thermoplastic polyurethane, which is very complicated to put all the pieces together out of one material. But to do so, this means at the end of life, you can grind it up, and you can reprocess it, and you have a completely circular approach to designing another high-performance shoe with the same characteristics. So Mr. Paul Smith will be here from their design team to also take you through that. So very, very exciting opportunities. And the final topic I want to touch upon is the topic of sustainability. It's critically important for our industry, for this plastics industry as well. In BASF, since around 2010, we've had a company purpose statement, which is we create chemistry for a sustainable future. So we take this incredibly seriously. With our new corporate strategy that came out a year ago, we set some very bold targets around this topic. I'll point out two of them. One is we've pledged to be CO2 neutral between now and 2030, yet we plan to grow the size of the business by 50%. Now you may say, is that a stretch goal? I would say in the materials-based industry, like we represent, where you have to start with, let's say, basic hydrocarbons, break them down, move the molecules around, and create materials, this is inherently energy intensive. And so to make a proposal that says we will be CO2 neutral and grow the business 50%, I think is a bold, bold claim. This will require us to purchase more renewable energy. This will require us to drive some radical process innovation that we're already working on, things that are 5 or 10 years out for our basic processes, but we invest today because we know it's critical. And then that leads to the final topic around sustainability, which is within the plastics industry, since we know there are some challenges here. I've already described what I see to be the fantastic, exciting opportunities that we can do things with these materials. But we know we have a problem with plastic waste in the environment. I mean, this is a global problem. It's real. The issue is not the material themselves. The issue is how we deal with it at the end of the life, whether it's reconverted into energy, whether it's mechanically recycled, whether it ends up in a landfill, or unfortunately, a lot of product ends up in the land or even in the oceans. So we know this is a critical topic. We need to address it as an industry and as a society, and we are highly committed to this. I'll give you two examples. We were a founding member of an organization called the Alliance to End Plastic Waste. This started just over 1 year ago. So 1 year ago in June, 4 material companies got together, BASF being one of them, and we said we need to tackle this topic. And in the intervening 12 to 15 months, we have recruited about more than 35 companies all along the plastics value chain, including brand owners, not just material producers. There's been a total commitment of more than $1.5 billion to make things, to make improvements in this area. And we have, I think, more than 12 demonstration projects that are already being formulated and scoped out, which are around working with municipalities and cities and areas where we need to do better in terms of forming infrastructure systems to collect and separate plastic waste and to drive the awareness and the concepts of recycling. But we are totally, totally committed to this. And one other area that we're committed to is a new recycling concept called Chem Cycling. So this is about taking mixed plastic waste and chemically processing it back down to its base, let's call it the base components, like a naphtha or a kerosene oil, feeding it back into our manufacturing Verbund and recreating the plastic material again. So it's a complete 100% circular topic where you end up with a material that's as good and as identical, basically, to virgin material. We are some years away from full commercialization of this, but we are highly committed. We just announced an investment in a company called Quanta Fuel a week or so ago, substantial investment. And I will tell you, we will drive this as hard and fast as we can do at BASF. So with that, once again, thank you for joining us. I think you'll enjoy the customer presentations that we have for you. And let me hand it back over to Richard.
Thank you very much, Wayne. So coming up next, our first topic for tonight is maybe the most photographed concept that we have this year at K, and I do not only mean at BASF, but at K. It's a concept camper van that has been inspiring campers, designers, design enthusiasts, journalists, bloggers, media, and customer since its world premiere 6 weeks ago, exactly here in Düsseldorf at the Caravan Salon. I'm really happy that Christian Bauer, the president of HYMER Germany, and recently appointed president of BASF's Performance Materials division, Martin Jung, are with me here today to tell you all about it. Christian, Martin, join me.
Thank you.
So, thank you for being here. I hope you enjoy the show so far. Christian, the VisionVenture was presented about 6 weeks ago. How have the reactions been so far?
So that's correct. We presented the VisionVenture a couple of weeks ago at the Caravan Salon right here in Düsseldorf, and the reaction was really amazing. I mean, for the media, for customers, for the dealers, and for all the visitors. And you have just imagined that the people were standing in line, in a queue, and waiting a long time to be able to get into the vehicle to see it. So that was the impact of the vehicle. And we, HYMER is standing for pioneer spirit and also for innovation. And the VisionVenture carries all these values. And we were thinking, actually we need such a concept for the brand, and we're very happy that we found the partner BASF to get it done.
So Martin, how did this cooperation start? I mean, Wayne already mentioned we did concept cars in the past, but a concept camper van, how did it all begin?
Totally new story for us. But the relationship between HYMER and BASF is a very long one. We enjoy a 40-year relationship that is longer than some marriages. And this was a very good cooperation throughout the years. And as you mentioned, BASF has a long history also in developing concept cars with other companies, smaller cars, bigger cars, different type of cars. But last year the idea was born to really work on a big car, on a van, and to develop this vision. And it was HYMER developing the vision. And after having the vision, actually there was a very interesting period, so-called speed dating. Speed dating between people from your company and material scientists from our company. And out of speed dating, as it sometimes happens, there was love, there was vision, there was enthusiasm for this car, and this is the result.
Martin, you mentioned the vision, the development of the vision for the VisionVenture. Christian, what is the vision? Who are you targeting with such a concept as a brand?
So actually, we were inspired, or a big portion of the inspiration came from the camper community under hashtag van life. Yeah? So getting this inspiration, the VisionVenture team came up with a completely new layout, something that didn't exist so far in that industry. And also with a couple of very smart solutions, and driven by some inspiration also by the DIY conversions of the target group. But I think we should have probably a look at the vehicle itself. So
absolutely.
I can...
okay, come on with me. So everybody who's there, you can also follow us. We do a little more live explanation with the car. We also have a camera inside the car, so you can see more already now. Of course, you will be able to see much more later. So, tell us.
Yeah, so we see here a concept. Actually, it's a four-wheel drive vehicle, and it's a compact vehicle. Also, what we see here is actually something that is a new category in the motorhome business in Europe. We talk about integrated vehicles or semi-integrated. This is a mixture of it. We see the windshield is pulled very in front to get a more speedy look. And also, this drives also the adventure spirit when we look at this vehicle itself. It's compact. Outside, a very nice color paint. This is also developed by BASF, which we use because it reflects the heat. So it's the chroma cool. And it looks also very nice. When we go inside the vehicle, I start from the rear side. There is the sitting area. So there's also a tailgate, and once we open that tailgate, we have a private area, kind of like a balcony. And on top of that, it's possible that we pull out a barbecue grill. I'm not sure if it's out right now. Okay, I will do it quickly. That's an electric barbecue grill.
But that's not the dinner for tonight, don't worry.
So this is one option, which drives also the adventure. Imagine you are in a very nice area, you stop, you put down the tailgate, you pull out the barbecue and start barbecue by sitting in a very nice area, also with a panoramic screen. So even if it would rain, you can close everything and you have a beautiful view outside with a panoramic screen in the back. If we look slightly towards the kitchen actually is integrated in a stair structure. So this stair structure leads to the second floor, which is the bedroom. It's in the second floor. So this has two floors. This one and the second, which is the bedroom. It's actually a stair, and these stairs, there's LED lights on it. So once they're on, they remind on a stairway of a home, of a real house. So this is also very unique. Also in the front, we have an office space. So that drives work-life balance. You can use this, go on holiday, but you still can work. Yeah, it's easy because you flap it out of the wall. Then there is a desk, and you can work. And once you're done with the work, just close it, and it disappears into the wall. Very important are the materials used. So it's a combination of high-performance plastic from BASF together with natural materials like leather, like slate, like felt, and also bamboo wood. We have a lot of bamboo wood inside there. Another very nice topic for sure is the bathroom. So this is unique. It's very compact, but you can unfold it and make it bigger. And the next point is when you go inside, you can switch also one part of it away, so it turns into a real big shower with a rain shower system on top. And also there the material is really a luxury material because it's natural stone. And this was able by BASF because they put Veneo slate, so it's a slate layer, 1 millimeter thick, and together with plastic, so it makes it bendable and it's light, and it's a real stone material. So that's really great.
Do you see, Martin, Christian Bauer has already become the material expert here. So it's hard for you. It will be hard for you. But as a chemist, maybe you can add some more insight.
As a material scientist, I'm totally fascinated by the car. 20 materials are here inside. And of course, also this coating, which is fantastic. And infrared reflecting coating so that the car stays cool. But on the material side, it is so interesting because on the one hand, it shows the entire bandwidth of materials. Not only that exists, but also that BASF actually sells, produces, and researches. And it is also interesting because it's kind of a crossover from our materials that come from the automotive industry as well as from the construction industry. It is kind of a crossover, if you like. So it covers in categories all the latest and greatest in lightweighting technologies, in energy conservation, so there are special new foams in there, in the outer but also in the inner part of the car. There is a lot of design features in there. Christian mentioned some of those, especially those where you have a combination between natural materials and plastic materials, a combination of slate and polyurethane, a combination of hemp and polyurethane. So really fascinating new materials, and that gives a totally new appeal and touch that you feel firsthand if you enter into this car.
This is the VisionVenture is also the first flagship project of the European BASF Creation Center. Yeah? And we are here in a kind of mini version of the Creation Center that we are building in Ludwigshafen. How did this new concept help to develop the VisionVenture?
I think if you talk about Creation Center, it is really coming how we want to interact with customers. The slogan of the Creation Center is from inspiration to solution. And I think we're seeing here really a good example in reality from inspiration to solution. There was an idea, there was a vision in the beginning. In the end, there is a tangible result. So that is fantastic. So in the future, we want to elaborate more on this concept. It comprises not only the material development, and you see a lot of materials here on the wall. Only the visual starts to inspire you. I think it inspires you also if you start to touch the material, the tangible part, the haptics of it. But in the end, you also need to process the material, and you also need to understand how it works in your application. So simulation, digital tools play a new role in our creation centers, and that is how we want to interact. Inspire, make it tangible, make it feelable, and in the end, also processable and bring results. And we will have 4 creation centers, if I may add that. So we will have one in Ludwigshafen pretty soon. We already have one in China, one in Japan, and one in India.
So it's a truly global concept.
It's a global story.
This one was mainly developed in Germany, actually, in Europe also. Martin described the way that BASF wants to collaborate with their customer. Christian, how did you perceive the collaboration? It's certainly a very intense project to get something like this done.
So it was a great pleasure with the collaboration, especially because we just had one year of time, or not even 1 year of time. And it was so nice to see the enthusiasm and how dedicated the people were, the team were, and how motivated the team were. And I think they all became campers, as far as I understood. Yeah. So.
I read one reaction on social media. I have to check this. One follower during the press conference, while HYMER was still posting the text of the press conference, well, just shut up and take my money. So, what's the potential to bring this to serious production soon? Is there a plan, and when?
So, first of all, we are very happy about such a comment, of course. The VisionVenture is a vision for the camper of 2025. So we have a lot of real new innovations, and I can't really give you an exact date when it will be, because it doesn't just only depend on us itself, it's also depending on suppliers like BASF. But what I can say is that the VisionVenture is for sure a model that shows where HYMER will be in the future. And for sure also step by step we will, our customers will gain from the innovations and from the ideas that we have presented here.
So Christian said that this makes everybody want to be a camper. Are you a camper?
Richard, now I think now it's time for an embarrassing confession. You know, my wife is actually Dutch. So she tried for many years. Yeah, she tried for many years to get me into campers. You know, Dutch are the biggest camper population that you can imagine. Probably one of your biggest markets as well. And so she tried for many years to get me into campers. I refused so far, but since this afternoon I'm sold. So when you enter this vehicle, especially if you then see the terrace, the little terrace with your barbecue, then I think you're sold. And then if you move up to the sleeping room, done.
So that's fine. Good to hear. Yeah.
Gentlemen, thanks a lot for these insights around the VisionVenture. Thanks so much. You'll be with us for the rest of the evening for some more hours, so everybody feel free to approach Christian or Martin for more questions, more explanations. Of course, we will have guided tours also in the vehicle. For the moment, I thank you very much, and then we'll hand over to the next topic, which is not as big as this one, but rather the smallest exhibit that we have this year at K. But when it comes to empowering the future and really creating a concept which has a massive disruptive potential to change a whole industry, to change the way we consume things, size is absolutely not of importance here. So I'm happy that Paul Smith, he's a senior director for footwear development in the adidas Future team, and Matthias Scheibitz from our new market development team are here with me today to talk about the shoe. Gentlemen, there you go.
Thank you.
We just stay here. Okay, no problem. Paul.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here. Great to have you.
Yeah, thank you.
Sustainability and circularity are the key topics of K2019, definitely. And they're also really, really important for adidas. And with that shoe, also the shoe that you're wearing, the Future Craft Loop, you have really taken a very bold and courageous step into the direction of circularity. Tell us a bit more about it.
Yeah, that's correct. This product here for us represents the first high-performance running product that we've really built or made to be remade. So it's a big statement of intent from us to kind of change the way that we look at the use and a first step, or actually I would say not even the first step, probably the second step, or a step along the path for us towards a real circular economy and working to end plastic waste.
You just said it's probably rather the second step. So what was the first? I mean, Adidas came out with an announcement on that topic already earlier. So where did this journey start?
Well, actually, one of the biggest things for us, it started in 2015. So one of our board members held up a shoe much like this at a different convention, the UN convention, and it was a statement of intent saying that we wanted to make product out of ocean plastic waste. And since 2015, we've been collecting waste from the oceans, from beaches, and this year we will have already produced 11 million pairs of ocean plastic waste product. So that's why I say it's the first step. I think if we talk about this and the idea of ending plastic waste and circularity, we probably really started to seriously think about this in 2012, I think. We looked at some different options and then and obviously came towards TPU, and that's when we approached BASF, and obviously, well, we're making history, yeah.
That's exactly what I wanted to ask. So, I mean, we've been presenting the Boost material Infinity in the Adidas Boost running shoe here at K in 2013. Since then, a lot has happened. So, how did BASF come into play for the Future Craft Loop?
Yes, Richard, as you said, since 2013, we've been developing new ideas, new concepts, new approaches, always together with Adidas. And I think it's been mentioned before, a very fruitful and trustful collaboration and relationship. Okay. And and for me, the Future Craft Loop is a perfect fit. And you might ask, so why is that a perfect fit? And because sustainability, as we also heard before, is not only core to Adidas, it's also core to our company. And by the way, circularity has been part of our production for more than 150 years. Just think of our Verbund system, yeah?
That's right, yeah.
So that's more or less even part of our DNA already in BASF. And when it comes to the, maybe you can just give it, when it comes to the shoe specifically, from the Boost midsole to the outer sole, from the eyelets for the shoelaces to the yarn for the upper. Everything is made of our nice TPU Elastolan product. So it's a great example for a collaboration with a customer.
So Wayne Smith already gave a quick description of the process, but as far as I understand, this isn't just recyclable into something of lower quality, but into the same shoe?
Yeah, that's something that's really important for us. So we're at the end of life in the shoe, once it's been worn and had a good life, we're taking the product back. Essentially, we're cleaning it, we're grinding it down, we're melting it, and we're turning it back into a high-performance product. So it's not like turning it into a water bottle or a tote bag or something like that. We're trying to bring it back to be again a high-performance product.
Isn't it also a kind of completely new business model for you at Adidas? To get the shoes back, there's maybe infrastructure involved. Who collects them?
Yeah, it's everything is new. So the way we created the product, I think the manufacturing methods and how we approached the fundamental materials, the TPU materials, essentially everything was pretty much from scratch. But then also thinking, and I can probably say that this is one of the first products we've launched where the return of the product is actually as big of a deal as the launch of the product. And so normally we want to launch products quite well, but it's really important as well to think and how and try to start to inspire future generations to really bring product back and work alongside with us to create the circular model.
Matthias, you just mentioned that this is all made from one material, elastolan TPU. So can I just assume that, I mean, this material was known for quite some time, yeah? So Adidas could have taken it earlier. Was it only material involved, or is there anything else?
Of course not. Of course, a key contribution to the shoe was the material, the TPU, as we mentioned before. But of course, there's a lot of know-how went into the development of the process. Yeah, it's crucial. The process behind the shoe was co-developed with Adidas, and the process, the recycling process, guarantees the quality expected, of course, by Adidas, but foremost, and I think that is more important, is expected by the runners wearing the shoes. Yeah, so it's all about performance, and the process then recreates a material that has properties that are extremely close to the virgin original material. Yeah. So, and again, as I mentioned before, for me that is a real great example how we collaborate with customers like Adidas, because we started together to develop the design for the shoe. We developed the production process that is necessary, and at the end, even the process to repurpose the shoe. Yeah. And in other words, that is closing the circle, and it's just for me a great and pioneering example for the way we want to collaborate in the future with our customers.
Good. Paul, I understand that this is a prototype, and when we talked earlier this afternoon, you mentioned something of a beta. Are you a beta tester?
I am a beta tester, yeah.
Congratulations.
I not because I have to, but I really do enjoy running in the product as well. It's not as big, as you said, as this prototype, I guess, but in terms of scale and impact, it is one of our biggest beta tests that we've done in the world. So in May, we sent out a bunch of our product into the world. We're getting experiences, so we look at different take-back programs in different parts of the world and see how we can make this experience as circular as possible and learn from that. And then obviously when we receive product back and go into the next beta phases, as we're moving towards our commercial launch in spring-summer 21, we're gaining all of these insights, not only on the take-back, but then as well how we deal with and repurpose and recycle and use the material back to put it into a high-performance product.
That's spring-summer 21.
Spring-summer 21.
That's tomorrow, basically.
Well, it is. Yeah, there's a lot of learnings that we have to go through. Definitely there's hurdles, but we're working alongside a great organization, and we learn all the way. We're very transparent as well. That we are learning, we're working alongside people, and if you have a pair out there, please also make sure that you bring them back, so we can learn from that and continue this cycle.
Matthias, BASF has developed quite a positioning with the footwear industry. I mean, of course, the Boost running shoe was the big bang, and you've also been working with multitude of industries in your professional career so far. So, can you tell us what's special about the footwear industry compared to other industries?
As you said, we've been working with different industries, and we have 4 core industries, and footwear, which is in our consumer segment, is one of them. And what is true for all industries, I would say, we learn every day a lot from our customers. And but what is so special about consumer and footwear industry? It's extremely challenging for us. And why is it challenging? Due to the short development cycle you just mentioned. Usually I was in product development before, and for automotive industry, don't get me wrong if they are representatives, usually product development cycles are in the range between 3 to 5 years. And here in footwear, you mentioned it, we're talking about spring, summer, fall, winter models. And that means we are not talking about years, we are talking about months. Definitely that is a challenge for us as an organization. And, but what I can tell with the development of Infinergy for the Boost sole, we generated a huge bunch of knowledge about the industry and the applications in this field. And beside that, you can gain this knowledge only if you have a really trustful relationship with your customer. You share a common understanding of the application. That's what we learned from Adidas, and a common vision. Where do you want to go? And I think that was said several times. I think there are a lot of similarities between Adidas and BASF.
Paul, you mentioned that you're not being forced to be a beta tester, which is good. But what are can you share some feedback coming back to you at Adidas from the beta testers, from those first models?
Yeah, certainly. So well, our athletes, our consumers, they expect performance product from Adidas, and that for us, that's a given. But still, when you're trying something new like that, you're taking risks. I have to say that the feedback has been very, very good so far. I think we have quite a few kilometers logged on the product. But as well, I think that the feedback on the entire concept is something that we can be really proud of. So putting this statement of intent in there, inviting people to come along with us on this journey, that I think is almost as important as getting really good feedback on the performance of the product. Of course, we're always trying to improve things, so I think every generation that comes along, the product will get better, but also the take back and the recycling. Yeah, really excited to see where this journey continues to lead us.
I think we are as well at BASF, excited to see where the journey will take us. Gentlemen, thank you so much for this presentation on the Adidas Futurecraft Loop shoe and what role BASF played in that. And with that, we also come to the end of the live stream for the people who watched this event online tonight. Thanks very much for joining us.